So, not too long ago, I 3D printed this joystick from my Xbox One controller. And I was on Thingiverse today, and I found this one. It's designed by the same guy, so I bet it's going to be amazing. And as you can see, this one's a hair more advanced. It actually has buttons up here that control down here, and possibly even a working throttle. So, let's make this. Okay, so this is the flexible parts and the handle. This should honestly take about 17 hours to print. So bear with me, hopefully this prints on the first try. I'm probably going to print this in glow in the dark. Now, the second print's going to be the buttons and like the linkages. That one's only about 3 hours. And the third and final print's going to be the part that mounts to the controller. That'll take about 6 hours. So let's get this thing started. Alright, let's start out with the longest print. So far, the first layer is looking pretty good. And I think I'm going to do the other two parts on my Prusa Mini. They'll be done by the time the other print's done. Cool, this will only take 2 hours. And this will only take 4. Since I'm doing the other two parts on this printer, it should take the print time instead of 24 hours to just 16 hours. Well, total print time, I should say. It almost worked. We'll come back to that. Let's do the Xbox mount. And honestly, after 3 hours, it's looking pretty good. It messed up. So let's put some hairspray down and give it another go. Hopefully this one works better. But I honestly won't know until the morning, because it's quite late and I'm going to go to bed. So I hope this prints overnight. And after 3 hours, this one's doing pretty good too. Alright, the controller mount's done. And this print is messed up again. So it looks like I'm going to have to print with the brim. Okay, I reworked the links. And this should be done shortly. Hopefully the brim and the extra hairspray helps this. I'll check back in a little bit. Hopefully it's still printing. Now, how did this happen? And how did that happen? Okay, I fixed it. Hopefully this time it works. I also fixed this one. And so far this one looks pretty good too. Yeah, my CR10's having trouble with this one. So we'll see if it works on this one. Yeah, this is the other mess. And it's almost done. And I think it's actually going to finish. Finally. Finally got this file printed. So I ran out of plastic mid-print. And my filament sensor actually worked. So I grabbed another blue and we'll see how this goes. 3 hours left. So when I made the filament switch, this plastic broke in the extruder gears. So let's try it again. So far so good. Hopefully I don't jinx myself. And I'm going to try and do the linkages on the CR10. Hopefully it works. The linkage is finished. Finally. And the handle also finally finished. So let's try and put this thing together. These buttons were such a pain to hook up. I had to add different parts. As you can see, because some are black and some are the glow in the dark. Now I just need to finish it up and try it out. And it works amazing. But there's some areas I need to glue down. So I'm just going to use my 3D printer pen. Then I'll put it on my controller and try it out. This is the old one. And here's the new one. So which one do you like better? Now let's do some gameplay. I think this thing works amazing. It's extremely responsive, and it feels more durable than the old one. But what do you think? Let me know.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Oh, Arv, I never got your TikTok.
I got you.
Wait, what? What?
Whoa.
What? How did you do that?
Your dreams are no longer safe.
How about this? Can we go from the patterns of your brain when you're looking at an image to reconstructing the image? So the way this worked was they put human beings inside an fMRI machine. They had them look at images and figure out what the patterns are, like translate from image to brain patterns. And then, of course, they would hide the image. So this is a image of a giraffe that the computer has never seen. It's only looking at the fMRI data, and this is what the computer thinks the human is seeing. Yeah. Now, to get state of the art, here's where the combinatorial aspects, why you can start to see these are all the same demo. To do this kind of imaging, the latest paper, the one that happened even after this, which is already better, uses stable diffusion, uses the thing that you use to make art. Like, what should a thing that you use to make art have anything to do with reading your brain? But of course, it goes further. So in this one, they said, can they understand the inner monologue, the things you're saying to yourself in your own mind? Mind you, by the way, when you dream, like your visual cortex runs in reverse, so your dreams are no longer safe. But we'll try this. So they had people watch a video and just narrate what was going on in the video in their mind. So there's a woman, she gets hit in the back, she falls over. This is what the computer reconstructed the person thinking. See a girl, looks just like me, get hit in the back, and then she is knocked off. So our thoughts, are starting to be decoded. Yeah. Just think about what this means for authoritarian states, for instance. Or if you want to generate images that maximally activate your pleasure sensor, anything else. Okay, but let's keep going, right? To really get the sense of the combinatorics of this. How about, can we go from Wi-Fi radio signals, you know, sort of like the Wi-Fi routers in your house, they're bouncing off radio signals that work sort of like sonar. Can you go from that to where human beings are to images? So what they did is they had, a camera looking at a space with people in it. That's sort of like coming in from one eye. The other eye is the radio signals, so sonar from the Wi-Fi router. And they just learned to predict, like, this is where the human beings are. Then they took away the camera. So all the AI had was the language of radio signals bouncing around a room. And this is what they're able to reconstruct. Real-time 3D pose estimation, right? So suddenly AI has turned every Wi-Fi router into a camera that can work in the dark, specially tuned for tracking living beings. But, luckily, that would require hacking Wi-Fi routers to be able to, do something with that. But how about this? I mean, computer code, that's just a type of language. So you can say, and this is a real example that I tried, GPT, find me a security vulnerability, then write some code to exploit it.
So you guys probably already know about my MOVA globe. It uses light and Earth's magnetic field to constantly rotate by itself without power, and it's one of my favorite things ever. But it's small. It's only 4.5 inches, so I got a bigger one. Matter of fact, this is the biggest one that they sell. What do we got here? Looks like we got the stand right here. And then we got... Oh my gosh, this is so heavy right now. I feel like it's gonna break through the bag. Yep, almost did. Oh. That is the craziest thing I have ever seen. Oh my gosh. So if you can't tell, it's about the size of a basketball, but feels like it's filled with lead. It is so heavy. Time lapse to show how it spins. I think this is now one of the most unique products that I have.